All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about vehicle kits, the kit that you keep inside your vehicle for emergencies and also preparedness. This is not a bug out scenario. This is just stuff that you might need along the road, along your daily life, or if you're traveling somewhere. I tend to go heavy on kit inside my vehicle because honestly, I'm not carrying it. I drive a Chevy Tahoe, so it's a very large vehicle. I'm allowed to put a lot of stuff in there and still have room for all the other things that I need. Some of the things that you're not going to see here is water. I highly recommend to carry at least a case of water in your vehicle at all times. If you want to do bottles, do bottles. If you want to do the 5-gallon jugs, do the 5-gallon jugs. Keep some type of water inside your vehicle. Again, you're not carrying it. Water is pretty heavy. I will say that depending on your location, it's going to depend on what you're going to need for your environment. So if you're carrying if you live in a cold weather environment, if you keep water inside there, it's going to turn to ice. But if you're in a hot environment, your water is probably going to be hot. So it really depends on where you live. Now, some of you might think that this is a little bit of overkill, but again, I'm not carrying it. I will say that if you put a lot of weight inside your vehicle, you will burn more gas, and I know gas is precious, so you have to be sparing with the vehicle that you own. Before we even get into this kit, I need you to do something for me. I need you to like, subscribe, put that little thumbs up button, click on that, make sure that you're getting the little bell icons with the two things on the sides, so this way every time I upload a video, you'll be notified. Also, go to 3riverblades.com, check out all the great knives I have up there, and make sure you are on the mailing list. Get on that mailing list. That's the only place that I am uploading or sending out discount codes. So if you want a discount code, make sure you're there. Also, try out our Patreon, become a Patreon member. All the items in this kit that you see here is going to be on my Amazon page. Amazon, I am an affiliate of Amazon, so full disclosure, if you purchase something, I get like 2 cents on the dollar. Thank you for your support. All right, so again, food and water should be stored inside that vehicle somewhere, somehow. Again, if you're like me and have kids, you know, you're gonna have to have food and stuff everywhere, probably a tarp to pick up or clean up the vehicle inside. Again, my kids are pretty small, so baby seats and that kind of thing also takes up a lot of space. All right, so just to knock off the top layer before we get into this box, a medical kit. Have a full medical kit. If you don't know what a medical kit is or are not familiar with what you should put in it, this is my roadside trauma medical kit. If I come up on an accident, I'm not going to get into it right here. Check back a couple of videos where I go over the trauma medical bag or vehicle medical bag. Basically, it's the same thing. The one I use in that video is special operations equipment. This happens to be from the military. This is a really nice kit. You can get these on Amazon. They are not cheap. This one is made by North America Rescue Combat Casualty Response Kit. All right, so you can actually wear this as a pack, which I kind of like. It comes with everything you need to handle trauma. So I'm going to put that on the side. Like I said, a vehicle medical kit is going to be huge. Okay, you're probably far enough away from the hospital, and if you have to dig into that bag, things have gone really, really bad. Okay, any type of, like I said, I have kids. This is a diaper bag. So what I did is I filled this up with extra baby needs. So extra clothing, extra socks, diapers, wipes, that kind of thing. Wipes can be used for adults too if you got to go poo or something like that. And I just kept it in this camouflage bag, no big deal. Toys, anything like that to entertain your child, I would always keep it as a separate bag. Again, that's going to be inside my vehicle. All right. Lights, let's talk a little bit about lights. This is just an old MagCell D battery kind of thing. It works. It's not fantastic. I will say that every single day I carry a 1000 lumen flashlight from Surefire. However, I don't want to throw this out, so this makes a really good vehicle flashlight. It works for what I need it to. If you want to get a lantern, that might work as well. And what this is for is, again, if I walk up on a car crash, I could just grab this. It's big enough that I won't lose it. If I need to fix my vehicle, I could have somebody hold it while I'm fixing vehicle. It doesn't have to be a 1000 lumen flashlight to just look inside of an engine compartment. It would help, but at least I have something here, and I always carry extra batteries, so that's going to be in there as well. Okay. All right, road flares. All right, this goes along with signaling. I have two different types of road flares. These are the old-fashioned road flares, the ones that use fire. Actually, I have three different versions. So road flares are really good. I would highly recommend to get a couple of these. What this does is not only does it signal for people that, you know, there's an accident ahead, to slow down, to be aware. You can also start fires with it. You can also signal SOS, anything you need to signal. Excellent. Okay, an alternative is this one right here. These are just large chem sticks. All right, they do expire, so you gotta figure out which ones work for you. This one's already expired, so I have to get a new set. It comes in a pack of 10. But what I like about it, it seems to last longer. Obviously, it's not going to be good for fires, but what it does is it lasts for 12 hours, okay? So the ChemLite road flares is just something that will last for a long time. Again, I put it in this Pelican box. If anybody's interested, it's a Storm box IM2306, and that just hangs out back there with all the other safety kit. All right, another thing, again, along the lines of road flares, again, signaling is going to be huge when you're working in and around a vehicle. I have these are called made by Avio. I probably have to put a charge on them, but what it does is when you, if I could find the button to turn these on, that would be awesome. Here it is. It's camouflage. There you go. So you have different patterns. Okay, that's more like a, and then if you click it, right, it has like a police pattern, has a flashlight pattern, all right, has a blinking strobe, all right, so you can go through the patterns. It holds a pretty good charge. There you go. There you go, and then constant on, okay. So, constant on, dim, directionals, all right, off. Okay, so this case itself, you can buy these single, one at a time. This one comes in a pack of 6. The case itself is actually a charger. You can see right here that there's a charger that comes with it, and you can either charge it by the power cord or you can charge it with the cigarette lighter. I like this because it lasts for a long time. I could set the tones. I think these are magnetic, so yes, it has a magnet on the bottom, so if you set it up on a vehicle or high on the accident, wherever you are, you can definitely get some strength, or exactly you get people far away will be able to see you. So this is not exactly a cheap set, but again, like I said, you can buy them in singles, you can buy them in the 6-pack and others. So I'll put that on the link below, and it comes in this nice little neat carrying case, which kind of slips under the seat, so you won't even know it's there until you need it. So that's pretty much it for signaling. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you guys a little bit closer so we can look inside this box. This box is a plano box. It's cheap. I don't know what gallon it is, but it's very, very heavy. I already broke one of the wheels off of it from pulling it in and out of my vehicle. But I loaded it with the stuff that I think is most necessary. Again, size does matter when it comes to storing your kit. So we're just gonna root through here. I'll show you what I have and go through it. All right, guys, let's get into this. All right, so right up top, like I said, this is a plano box. They're not very expensive. They're not even that well made. It's like a Pelican case, but cheaper. You can also get other boxes. The only thing I liked about it is I could fit all my kit that I need inside of here, okay? So right up top, I have a military grade rain jacket and bottom, okay? I can't tell you how many times this has helped me out in the past. This is not Gore-Tex. This is that Gumby suit, that camouflage plastic. So it will get hot, but what it does is it allows me to move around outside my vehicle relatively dry. Okay, so I have that. I'm just going to pull this stuff out. I have a tarp. Tarp is excellent for a bunch of things, but mostly what I use it for is if I go hunting and I have to throw that animal in the back of my vehicle, the tarp works out really well. Also, quickie shelters or anything like that. It's just a regular blue tarp. I don't know what size it is, but it's enough, okay? As far as tools go, this is the 4-way tool, lug nut wrench. You can get whatever size you want. Most of the vehicles today come with some type of I want to say jack tool, that kind of thing, but I always have this on hand in case I need it. It gives me a little bit more leverage. All right, so I'll put that on the side as well. All right, ice scraper, no big deal. I don't have to talk about that too much. you know what that's for. All right, so when it comes to shovels, and you'll see this, there'll be 2 shovels in here. I'm a big fan of the US military shovel. This one happens to be by Gerber. All right, I haven't had to use this one. I had my other one. But what I like about this is that this will allow me to dig ditches or to get out of Dodge, whatever I need. So I don't necessarily have to carry a second shovel. Also, if I gotta go use a poop in the woods or something like that, I'll take the shovel with me. A shovel has saved my butt more than once in many occasions, so I do like carrying a military style shovel. This one happens to be by Gerber, but any of the ones that you got from the military surplus will be outstanding, so I keep that in there. Again, this gets kind of heavy once you start packing it full of stuff, but military or a shovel to dig dirt. Okay, shovel to dig dirt. That's important to have that in there. You can also put in there a mattock. A mattock is like a, I don't know if I have mine in there. I probably have one in there. We'll see about that in a second, okay? All right. I'm also gonna have a wool blanket. I don't care what type of blanket you use, just make sure that it's heavy enough that you use it when it gets cold out. I just like to have one in there just for emergency purposes only. All right, so I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna put it on the side. All right, so when I said shovels, I also have in here a snow shovel. I'm gonna have to move some of this stuff out of the way. Snow shovel is going to be obviously for snow. So if you can use the 1 shovel option, but what I like about this is that it's super lightweight. Okay, so it's super lightweight. It adjusts. If I need to adjust the handle, I can adjust it. I could pull this out. Let's see. All right, so I have a pretty good snow shovel. It all comes apart. This one's made by Lifeline. The idea behind the snow shovel is if my vehicle gets stuck, and this is the one that actually helped me out a lot, if my vehicle gets stuck, instead of using a dirt shovel, I use the snow shovel. It's lightweight, it's small, and I can put it inside my pack, so I'm a big fan of that. So highly recommend having that in there. As far as tools go, okay, we're talking more about tools. This is a bow saw. There are other saws that fold up nice and neat. I don't have a problem with that. I just happen to have a bow saw that fits inside this pack. So I have a bow saw with 2 extra blades. Again, depending on where you live, if there's a tree in front of me or I need to cut something, I'm not going to use my little Swiss Army knife. I actually have a bow saw for that. So I'm going to put that in there as well. All right, this is what I was talking about. This is a military mattock, or I would say, yeah, it's a small pickaxe. All right, this is fiberglass, and I've used this quite a bit to dig out of trenches and holes and that kind of thing. So this works out very well. It's not overly big. I do have a lanyard on there so I don't lose it. But this inside the truck, you could also use it as a hammer if I needed to. I have these flat sides to dig ditches or to get out of trouble. This thing is worth its weight in gold. So I also put that in there. As far as other tools, let's see, that are not, I don't think, yep. So I have a hatchet in here as well. All right, so I have a hatchet. This is not the best hatchet in the world. And one of the things I wanted to talk about this was, you know, understand where you work. If you're going to leave all this stuff inside your vehicle, you also have to be prepared that you might get it stolen. So you don't, you know, depending on how you feel about it, if you have a metal lockbox, it's probably going to be best, and if it's bolted to your vehicle, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get into. But I only have a plastic one that has wheels, so you can actually take all this stuff out of there and you know, go with it. And that's probably a problem because there is a lot of stuff in here. All right, so as far as maps, all right, these are all map books. These are very large map books, road atlases, that kind of thing. I like to keep these things inside here because they are protected. They are very large and they have actually large print. These are basically made for truckers. Before we had GPS and all that stuff, we used maps a lot. I'm a big fan of maps. You'll always see maps inside my roadside kit. I think it's important to learn how to read a map, use a map, all that kind of stuff, because again, if we're in a grid down situation or GPS just stops working, you need to know how to get around, right? Another book is the Chiltons. All right, this is just the Chiltons. This one's pretty old, but it tells you how to repair your car. I always used to go out of my way I took BOCES as a kid and I learned how to work on vehicles, so that kind of thing helps me out a lot when I need to look up different stuff. All right. I always say have some food. All right. This is emergency food. This is wise foods. All right. Inside here, I think there's probably about 10 with some MRE spoons. Wise food. So the thing with Wise, it's just like Mountain House. What it does is it allows me to have food if I need it. If we have to stay with the vehicle for a few days, if you don't have a case of MREs or something like that, at least you have some food in the car. And this is just K-Bar's little eating spoon, and you know, throw whatever you want in there. I thought this was kind of neat. It has a fork, knife, that kind of thing. I just throw it in the food pack itself. This pack I think is a old style gas mask pouch that I just put a whole bunch of food in there. I think this was made by Black Hawk, and it allows it. There's like 10 meals in here, more than enough for me and my family for, let's say, a couple days. If we get stuck somewhere and we don't have food, the only thing you need is water. Okay, so water is going to be huge. All right, speaking of water and cooking, let's see if I can pull this out. This is kind of neat. This is my cook set. You know, to each his own how you decide you want to do it. This is an old Claymore pouch. And inside here, I have my gas stove, I have another eating tool, I have a fire steel, and then on this side, I actually have the stove top. All right, so that screws onto the gas right there. So this screws onto here, and then I have more than enough fuel. Okay, so I don't want people to rely just solely on making a fire. If my vehicle gets stuck somewhere and I'm in dire straits, I want to be able to cook my food as fast as possible. Again, once you get the fire started, that's fine. But if we're just doing like pots and pans and that kind of thing, it really is no big deal. So inside here, clean canteen with a pot. All right. So this pot right here is just a canteen cup, more than enough to boil water. You could also boil water inside here if you need it. Now that I have a stove. And of course I have my Sawyer Mini for water. If I need extra, it's already in there. And also I have water purification tablets. All right, so all that inside these two little satchels right here make it extremely convenient for water purification. Okay, so I like that a lot. I'm gonna stick with that. All right, let's talk about some other stuff. Okay, so inside here is a small survival kit. This is just something that I had in the vehicle for a long time. And this is like the pocket survival kit. It has a little bit of Band-Aid stuff and some necessities, okay? You know, blanket, space blanket, whistle, fishing kit, fire starter, that kind of thing. I don't think I want to rely on this all too much, but it's in there if I need it. Again, if we were moving, that thing would come in pretty handy because I would just throw it in. All right, let's look at what else we have. We have a bunch of black garbage bags. Black garbage bags work very well, not only for survival situations, but for any situation that I'm going to need in the field, or let's just say I'm at a picnic and I don't want to be a slob. I would pick up all my stuff, okay? Tube tent. All right, tube tent is very, very useful. Tube tent, if I get stuck somewhere where, let's say we're on the road and the vehicle is no longer an option. Notice that's in very, very bright orange. What this does is it stores heat. I can put my whole family in here and be relatively comfortable. Not awesome, but at least I have something other than my vehicle. Okay, so they're very cheap. They come with all the pieces that you need, and I just throw it right inside there. And if I need it, I have it. Okay. What else do I got? All right, so let's talk a little bit about vehicle care. So I have Fix-A-Flat. Depending on where you live, where you work, Fix-A-Flat is just a quickie flat. If I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere and I know there's a gas station coming, instead of taking the whole tire off, I would just maybe use Fix-A-Flat, so that's good. This is cool too. This is an engine coolant system. So if you spring a leak in the middle of somewhere and now you're running out of fluid for your radiator, you just throw this in and it's supposed to fill up the radiator cracks just to get you to the next service station, so that's cool. Water weld, this is cool. This is about bonding. So what this does is if one of your tubes on your engine breaks a hose or something like that, you're supposed to use this water weld. You put it on, it's like an epoxy, it dries, and then again till you get to your next service station, so that's cool. Siphon, I don't know about you, but I do not like using the old water hose siphon method where I'm sucking down water siphon, so I'm not a big fan of that. So I'll use this. This is just a pump. They do sell other ones now that are electronic. Again, it runs on batteries, completely up to you, but at least have some type of siphon, okay? This is just a SOL bivvy. Again, that goes along with the blanket. If I need something a little bit extra, or a bivvy, or I can give this to somebody, then it's well worth it. That works along with the tent as well. More tools. Okay, I have my old machete in here. All right, this is Tramontina Latin machete. Very simple. It's just a machete. If again I get caught somewhere where now I need to build shelter, or to cut myself out of a location leaving the vehicle behind, or if I need to chop up firewood, whatever the case, I have a machete in there. I wouldn't necessarily worry, you know, everybody worries about local laws and stuff, but honestly, I'm not digging through all this stuff to find my machete for a self-defense situation. I'm using it to get myself out of a bad situation, okay? Also in here, I have my lantern. Like I said, light is always going to be an issue. So I have my lantern in here. The batteries are dead, so I got to replace these. Good thing I went through here right now and figured it out. But again, you don't want this to happen, especially when you need it. So I'm going to take this out, dig it out, and then test it out again. All right, so good on that. I have that out of there. Orange vest. This didn't really cost me anything. It was actually part of a gift. This is a hunting vest, but I also think it's important if you need to signal. Let's say if your vehicle's stuck somewhere and you need to use this as a flag, or if there's an accident somewhere, you want something bright and orange so people can see and not run you over. I think that's pretty good. You could also get a reflective vest on there as well. All right. I have a sharpening puck in here. Again, this is for the axe or the machete. What that does is it's just another piece to sharpen up my tools. I don't envision myself being out there long enough, but at least I don't have to use a river rock, so that's cool. A couple other things that I like throwing in there is the inflator. So this is just an automotive inflator. It works on your 12 volt. So if your radio, let's say you get a flat tire, you fix the tire, now you need a way to put air back in the tire. Well, obviously you're going to need something to do that. So this is just a fix a flat kind of thing. So I put that in there as well. Okay. Communications. This is a very old but useful item right here. It is a portable CB radio. Again, you can use ham radios, whatever it is. This just happens to be compact. I could throw batteries in there. I could also use my cigarette lighter if I need to call for help. Just another idea if you need it. So that is the Midland Micro Portable CB radio. Again, ham radio and like Baofangs are a lot better than those, but if you have nothing, at least you can throw it in there. And again, if it gets stolen, it's not such a big deal. It's not such a huge loss. All right, so I have toe straps in here. All right, this toe strap, I think, what is this rated for? Does it say? Smitty belt. I don't know what this one says, but I've used this before. Toe straps I like better than toe ropes, and it also has these big seat clamps in here. Excellent for pulling yourself out of a jam. Big fan of that. Not such a big deal. I would also throw in here like a come along if you had a come along, that kind of thing. And inside here, I don't know if you can see it, but I don't want to take everything out because this is all my tools. This is all my tool set in here. All right, I'll show you what my tools have inside here. So gloves, obviously, multiple sets of gloves, just so I have enough in there. I also have a spout, so if I need to pour in gas or fluids or stuff like that, that's in there. All right, bungee cords. Bungee cords come in extremely handy. It's just you're going to need them to strap stuff down, especially if you're vacationing or whatever, if you need to tie stuff up. Inside here, I also have jumper cables. Always carry jumper cables. I know there's a lot of people that don't. WD-40, some extra bags. This is my tire kit. So inside here I have my fix-a-flat tire kit. All right, so it has all the rubber pieces. If I get a nail in there and I pull it out, now I can plug my tire and of course use that. Rope, this is bank line. This is tarred bank line. Again, whatever you need it for, it's in there. I don't have to worry about it. I know it's inside this kit. And then again, I have like tools in here. So there's going to be socket wrenches and you know, screwdrivers. I even have a small set, you know, bolt cutter if I need it. It's in here. Ball peen hammers, that kind of thing. You know, different types of wrenches. Okay, different types of wrenches. So mostly car stuff, okay? Mostly car kit stuff, all right? So let me put all this stuff back together and then we'll finish up. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share this. Put some comments down below if there's anything that you think I missed. Again, this has to do with my location, my experiences, how I kind of use my vehicle, and it also depends on the size of the vehicle as well. Obviously, this is not going to fit in everybody's vehicle. It is rather large. If you have a truck or something like that and you can secure it better, then by all means, that would be awesome as well. You make sure you're on the mailing list, become a Patreon member, and as always, stay safe.